Hi there, this is GeoFlex Media. In today's tutorial, we're going to be showing you how we created this. This was actually done by a great motion design artist, a pro for that matter, and this was done some time ago. And I felt that this is a time to try to crack the code and show us how this was achieved. So let's begin, but I'm going to call the name of the person at the end of this tutorial. So stay tuned, watch it all through to learn step by step how this was created. This is easy to do, though it might look a bit complex, but if we follow the steps by which this is created, which I'm going to be showing you today, you will find it very easy to do. Let's begin. First, I want to show you how we set up this composition. This composition is already open. I want to show you how it is set up. Go to composition setting. This is the whole setting of the composition. The width is 1920, height is 1080, frame rate is 29.97, and the duration is 20 seconds. Okay, first thing we need to do is to set up that baseball that morphed into the sausage. So, and how we do this is to go to ellipse, but I don't want to use ellipse because finally I'm going to use what it is morphed into, this shape that looks exactly like what it is morphed into, which is this rounded rectangle. So I click on it, then draw rounded rectangle like this. Alright, so this is the rounded rectangle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this, I'm going to unlink this, then bring down the vertical size to something like this, right, and increase the roundness. By increasing the roundness, I want to achieve an ellipse. Increase this. Let me also increase this a bit. Let's take it to 3004 so that both sides are equal. 300.4 rather. Enter. So this is an equal size. So we can actually link it back and increase both of them at the same time. If the roundness is not very smooth, you try to increase it here. I think up to 250 thereabout is okay. So let me just put 250 here. Right, this 250. I think this is looking okay. So let me bring it here. Well, I want to make sure that the anchor point is at the center. So normally I use this anchor point mover, and you can always download this from Mr. Horse. You can download it from Mr. Horse website. Just search on Google. All right, now the next thing you do is to bring in this asset here. I did this on Photoshop. It's called baseball stripe, the stripe on the baseball. By the way, this is the baseball you saw that morphed into the sausage. Yeah, that morphed into sausage, right? So let me put it here. This is too big. We're gonna reduce it to something like this. Bring it somewhere here. I'm gonna increase it a bit to something like this. So what I'm going to do next is to duplicate it. Having duplicated, put it somewhere here, holding shift so that both of them are on the same horizontal plane. Alright, so this is the baseball. Now what I want to do with this baseball is to rotate it towards the left side, and by this I mean I'm going to be rotating it towards the left angle. So first I have to parent these two baseball stripe to the shape. Okay, let me name this shape. It's always good to name the shapes, or to name your layers rather. I'll call this donut, or donut baseball. I hope I'm getting the spelling right. Donut baseball, or rather donut ball. That's okay. Right, and these are the stripes. This is parented to the baseball so that when we rotate the baseball or donut, whatever it is, when we rotate it towards the left side, it follows suit. Don't worry, we're going to be hiding some part of this baseball, and I'm going to show you how to do it in a minute. So let's proceed. So what I want us to do is to, within a second, let me increase this so you can see the second time mark. Okay, that's it. I always give 1 second free time frame before animating. So I start from 1 second, right? So I press R to pull up the rotation property. So click on it, come over here. Within a second, I want it to rotate towards the left this way. And that is it around here. Okay, so having done that, let's ease the keyframes. This is eased, but what I want to do is to ensure that it comes at a speed at the beginning, right, and slows down at the end. So let's see what happens here. Oh, don't worry, it may not be smooth because this is in half. Okay, let's go back to the keyframe. May not be smooth, but I can see what happens. If you rotate like this, okay, let me leave it again. All right, that's okay. Okay, let's proceed. Now I haven't done this up to 2 seconds. At this 2 seconds time mark, then the morphing starts. This is where the morphing starts. So as we proceed, if this is too fast, I'm going to move it up to 2 seconds. This 1 second from here to here is 1 second. But if I happen to see that it is a bit fast, I'm going to move forward the time frame to say about 3 seconds. But let's meanwhile leave it here. You know, in pulling up a motion design, some things have to be, you know, a bit of trial and error until you perfect it. So don't be discouraged while you proceed. You will encounter a bit of guess and all of that. So that's why there's some work that have to go into it. Now, without talking too much, let's proceed to the next level. The next level is for this to morph into sausage. So the morphing will happen between 1 second to 2 seconds to 3 seconds, right? And which is a second. From here to here is a second, from here to here is a second. I'm explaining this for some of us that perhaps joining the motion design community quite recently. All right, so what happens next is, at this point, this begins to leave this one here, which is this begins to leave, right? And yeah, so position for this, like a better one here, let's be right here. Position for this, no, not that. Remember, I rotated it, so position for this begins to leave while this true. Position for this second one between here and here, right? For this second one begins to come downward as well. Yeah, begins to come downward. And this is happening in a fast pace. You'll be wondering, why am I animating the x-axis of the position? You could remember I rotated it, so that's why I'm doing so. It has been rotated, so it's no longer on the x-plane. X-plane is the x dimension of the shape. So I hope you understand that. All right, let's proceed. But I will always ease the keyframe, and that is done. And I also want to do it at that same speed. This through here, this one too. I hope I can see this very well. Let me increase the view. So both of them are moving at the same pace. Okay, let me leave it like this for now. If anything, we'll come back and see how we'll perfect it. Let's see what happens. Okay. Right. Okay, the next thing we'll do right now is to begin to morph this into the sausage. So I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So this same sausage, we could at this point duplicate this. We could at this point duplicate this because a lot of things. So okay, in that case, let's rename this as, at this point, baseball. You see what I'm explaining to you? As you proceed, you begin to discover how to use some strategy, to some techniques to perfect what you're doing. You don't need to get it right at the first time. So at this point, I need to duplicate this. Control Shift D, or cut it. So the baseball from here to here has done its work up to this point. So this is now the donut. So pay attention. Pay attention. This is now the donut. Remember, somebody else did this, as I explained earlier. We are trying to crack the code and get what the person did, and we have to pass through this rigor to be able to do that. So this is the baseball, this is the donut. So we are on the donut, so we now need to concentrate on this. So for this donut, I will also leave the keyframe. Remember, from here to here is invisible. What is visible is just this baseball. Donut at this point is invisible. I need to take my time to explain, because as I mentioned earlier, it's complex, but though it's simple when you follow the steps. Right. Okay, at this point we're on donuts, so let's crack open the donut and get into its property. And the property we are concerned about is that has to do with its structure, which is the size and the roundness and all of that. So what we want to do right now, we want to begin to transform this into donuts, and we have to keyframe this size, position and roundness at the beginning. Then as you move forward a bit, let's unlink this because I may be concerned with the individual properties, property of the X size and the Y size at this point. Now the roundness, we want to be able to reduce the roundness this way to begin to form into the shape of the sausage. Then I have to also reduce this way, then increase this way. So you may notice that we will at some point come back to I'm trying to see this is not straight. Let me go to action, title, save. So it's not straight. Okay, perhaps the rotation was not complete, so let's go back to the rotation. Or since I'm going to use, finally I will be using the null layer to be able to correct all of that. But at this point, let's concentrate on what we're doing. So what you may notice is that this other stripe hasn't existed fully, and I also want to at this point pull up the position. No, not this. Remember, these things have rotated. These things, okay, that is it. I may also want to reduce the size a bit, just as I'm emphasizing. Remember, we've rotated this, so this visually when you are looking at the canvas or the composition, might not, what is on the x-axis might have changed, and so when you do this, try to check what you're doing on the screen to make sure that it is tallying, it's agreeing. So what we want to do right now is to create another shape assets that will form the wrap, or the, what do you call it, the dough that wraps around the sausage. Is it dough? I don't know, but I don't eat sausage a lot. I'm more of on the vegetarian side, but it's okay. That doesn't matter. If I want to be able to create the dough, permit me whatever I call it, but make sure that you're not selecting any shapes here. You're not selecting any shape here. So let's take this. Let's draw another shape. Oh no, it's not the dough we are going to draw. Let's remove this dough. It's not yet time to draw the dough. What we want to do right now is to bring in the sausage, which is on the orange side of the color. I think it is orange color. Get this sausage. Remember, it was coming from here. Let's see what we're doing. I like to scrub. Stunning, and then it's okay. This started early. Don't worry, it will smoothen up when we are done. Okay, so this exited early, so I'm gonna get these two, press U to move them closer so they delay a bit. They may not even do it at the same time. So while this is happening, okay, let me play it. Okay, let's scroll after turning. That's happening early. Okay, I could just delay this a bit. So this is what's happening now. Can still delay. Can actually delay. So I want also to be able to see this donut proper, the is keyframe. Okay, it should also delay. Yeah. So but this should delay more. And this should also delay more. So let's see what happens. This is happening. Okay, it's getting close. You get the idea. So let me just give this basic easing. Why this basic easing? Right. You get the idea. So it has fully morphed into sausage from baseball. Okay, the next thing we do is to duplicate this sausage while it is already with the keyframe. That is very important to know. We could still come back and perfect the keyframes, make sure that they're happening at the correct times. So this other this baseball on top will now be exposed. Remember the white one comes, right? The white one comes first, which is baseball morphing into donut. Then the real donut, the sausage, which is on the orange side of the color. I think it is orange color. So, but it won't be at this color. It has to be exposed. How do we expose it? So what we'll do now is to create a mask around this to expose it at some point, and that is what we are going to be doing now with this second donut. This donut too will be made visible. So what we are going to be doing is create a mask. I'm going to be using this pen tool to do so, and because I'm creating a mask, I have to on a shape. Once you're creating a mask on a shape, you click this pen tool and click this at the same time. So what we are going to be doing is we create a mask on donut 2. So what I want to do is to create a mask that goes like this, like this, like this, like this, and like this. Let's put a curvature and close. Now I'm gonna put in another curvature here, but I have to increase the view. Please be a bit more patient. This is a painstaking process, so I'll have to get it right. Yeah, so let's click outside and see. Right, I think this is getting close. So this mask is here. So what we have to do, okay, let me, I think I need to give it another, let's crack this open, go to the mask, go to the mask part, mask again. I need to give it another handle, another bezier handle again to bring this down and curve it a bit, curve this to right. This is what I want to do. Okay, this is done. So what we want to do, we want to be able to reveal this. So we have to animate the mask, keyframe the mask part on this second donut. Right? So this second donut, still with the same keyframe, the earlier keyframe that the first donut has, it doesn't matter. What we're concerned about here is the mask part of the second donut. Now, so when we come here, the full standing, it's supposed to be here. So let's double click this and take it up. Oh, the mask is okay. I need to drag this down. Great. This is the full state of it, at the final state. That's where it is. Then let me also drag this up so we right. But at the beginning, while it's morphing, we'll bring it down. The first, I like to kind of move it up like this. Okay, while it's approaching a bit, I'm moving it like this. Okay, changing the position, moving it like this a bit, changing the position. Okay, I need to finally bring it down here, but this has to happen a little later in the flow of this event. So right click, ease this keyframe, give it basic easing. So let's see what happens once this is going on. This is when this sits in. Great. Yeah, that is it, and comes full. Yeah, we're getting there. So what happens next? This has finished its duty. So let's trim it. Yeah. Oh, okay, it will remain. That's finished its duty, but it will remain. To remain in the composition. But things are happening a lot early. Okay, we still have some time in the keyframe. Okay, yeah, it's not up to 10 seconds. I'm happy. All right, so now we have to do that wrap I mentioned earlier. It was too early then in the game. It was too early. So what I want to create now is, first of all, the beginning of the showing of the wrap. The beginning of the showing of the wrap is what I want to create right now. Yeah, at this point in the tutorial, I'm going to create that wrap, that donut wrap, which we started earlier, but we said no, that wasn't the right time to create it. So what we do now is to go ahead and go to rounded rectangle again, because what we want to do is first of all to create the wrap beginning. But first of all, I want to make sure I'm not selecting anything. So the wrap beginning has to be something like this. Before I continue, I want to make sure this is straight. This is straight. Let's see. This is not standing straight. Let me delete this. Select delete. Right. So in order to correct this, what I will do right now is to get in a null object. A null object will help us in this situation. Let's parent everything to the null. Select everything, then parent to the null. Right. Yeah. Okay, since these two have already gone off, so let me select these three. I don't want to distort whatever that has happened because this was parented to something else. It's parented to the baseball, which is this. So let's just parent these three to the null. So what I want to do is bring the rotation of the null and do it to the left, right. I think it's straight. Just want to make sure it is straight. Or we can use the ruler, Ctrl R to bring in the ruler, and try to use the ruler to eyeball it to ensure. I think it's straight. Yeah, it is. So let me remove the ruler again, Ctrl R to give us more room for with the visuals. Right. So let me I normally put it here. Okay, so we can then create that wrap beginning somewhere here. As we go through, you will understand why I'm doing this. As we proceed further, to understand why I'm doing this. So I want to give it a different color. Let me give it something like this color. Yeah, that is it. This color makes sense. So let's go to the rectangle part properties and increase the roundness to something like this. So I think I have to reduce it a bit. Yeah, something like this. So let me bring it to 3%. And make sure it is at the center. That's the anchor point. So let me put it somewhere here. This is a new shape, so let's call it wrap beginning. Always label your layers wrap beginning, bng, bgn. Okay, wrap beginning. That's wrap on the left. Then let's also duplicate it by pressing Ctrl D and then call this wrap end. Let's say wrap right, and the wrap left. RT right, LF left. So this one I want to move you to here. Press shift so it's on this same place. Yeah, this is it. We're getting close. We're gonna arrange this properly later. So I don't need this null for now. I have to remove it. I only used it to position this is hot dog, right? Yeah, this is hot dog. Okay, so this hot dog, let's create the wrap right away. Let's create the wrap. I want to make sure all of these come together. I'm not selecting anything. I don't want it to create another shape inside this wrap. That's why I'm not selecting anything. So I create it outside it. So what I'm gonna do is right away I'm gonna change the color of this, but once I'm done I have to bring it back to the same color with the wrap left and right, just to distinguish, to enable us distinguish and be able to do the animation properly. Right, so I can as well take it up to match here. That is it. As I mentioned, it is a painstaking process, but once you get it right, you get it right. But normally I use rulers a lot to make sure that things are in their proper position. But let's proceed as we do. Okay, I think this is it. We're eyeballing this. Now what I want to do is this is the main wrap. This is the wrap. So let's label our layer main wrap, right? Well, let me just call it main wrap, so we distinguish it from the others. Then this is the wrap beginning. This wrap beginning comes first. At this point it comes here at this point. So in fact all of this we'll have to trim them. Do that by pressing Alt and the left angle bracket. Alt plus the left angle bracket. I haven't trimmed these 3 layers. Now what we have to do is, first of all, I had activated this, but let me show you. I want to make these 2 layers invisible. That's the main layer and the wrap left. I'm going to show you how to make it visible at the beginning of the main wrap. Having deactivated these 2, let me push this forward a bit. They'll be coming up in the scheme of things at some point in the animation. Now the first showing of the wrap occurs here. When all of this must have happened, it comes here, it shows up. When it shows up, the next thing that will happen is that the main wrap, this main wrap follows. Let me bring it down and activate it. Let me activate it as it shows up immediately. Within a split second, it will show up fully like this. It has to come in a way, and for us to do that we have to use a mask or a matte. So I have to duplicate this main wrap. So this is going to be main wrap matte. This main wrap matte is going to show up at the beginning of this. So it's going to show up like this. So this main wrap should be somewhere backward. We have to drag it backward. I mistakenly moved. I should move 2 of them. I shouldn't move 2 of them, rather. It's only the main wrap I should move, not the matte. Remember, the matte is not going to show It's only the main wrap that will show. So I position it there. So it has to be equal to this wrap mat. What we are doing now is to make sure that this main wrap reveals in the mat. Once this comes up, once it shows, then the main wrap starts showing. So I have to position the layer. So what we are going to do now is to animate the position. So we have to press P to take the position keyframe. So this is the so I move it. It moves like that. Up to there. Let's give it a basic easing. Always give it a basic easing. So I have to use track mat to put it on alpha mat. Yeah, you can see how it's going, but it has to synchronize the movement. Has to synchronize with the showing of the main wrap. That is, it has to move with the wrap left. So when this is somewhere here, around there, we're in the middle of, let's say in the middle of that 2 keyframe. Now I have to take it a bit back. Okay. So I take the position of the wrap left. So I'm trying to synchronize the movement with the main wrap so that it moves following behind but attached to it. At the exit of the main wrap, the right wrap has to move back to where the left wrap it was. So we have to bring this down so it follows behind the sausage or donut or whatever we call it. So it has to follow behind it to move to where the left wrap was. This is the trick that we have to do to be able to achieve that. So we take the position keyframe and move it to the left. So it begins to move. Well, I'm doing this at the same place, so I have to, yeah, okay, that is it. Move it, move it to the left, and it positions there. Let's position it there. I'll put it in the correct position. So what's happening here is this happens and it moves. The wrap begins to move, then the left wrap follows. We have to see whether it is accurate, whether it's a bit fast. I think it's synchronized. It did synchronize. The only thing that is happened so fast, let's ease the keyframe. So that has to be eased too. So that this has been eased right now. So let's look at it again. Let's be sure it's moving in sync with that. Let's be sure it's moving in sync. All right, I think it happened too fast. I'm trying to see how I can move them a bit wide apart from each other, so that it's a bit smooth and delayed. I want to press the tilde key to only see the timeline and all the keyframes at the same time. So I'm trying to, okay, this is not the way I wanted it to move. Okay, but let me try and do it one by one. I clicked Alt and drag, but moving. Okay, I think that really happens when you're doing it on one layer. But let's see how we can perfect that. No, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. No, I think I need to click outside and do it one by one. Yeah, one by one, just little by little. I press tilde key again. I want it to delay a bit. It's happening so fast. Something is showing beside the right wrap. Okay, I think there's a duplicate. I have to delete it. There's a duplicate somewhere. Yeah, somewhere here there's a duplicate, so I have to delete it. So that should go. So let's go back. This saved my sanity. I was almost getting. Okay, so what I really need to make sure that this is in the right place. I mean, so it takes a little bit of tweaking to get it right. Maybe I should have used a null layer to kind of big whip this together, the left wrap and the main wrap. But let's see. I'm trying to get it. It's getting a bit tricky here. Let's play it again. Moves and that. This is lagging behind a bit, so it should come at the same time. So I have to tweak the keyframe a bit, delay it a bit. Yeah, this I think is in sync right now. So let's try and play it. No, okay, have to move it it's still there. There's a delay, so we have to move it back. So let's see what happens now. Put your comment in the comment section whether it is better to use the null layer or to do it the way I'm doing it. I think I should have used the null layer. That's what I think. But comment in the comment section what you should have done if you were to be the one doing this. Right. Okay. I think is this kind of thing requires some thinking and a bit of trial and error until you perfect it. We are trying to make sure that things follow their right timing and happen smoothly. So let's proceed. The next thing we want to do is to bring in a null object that we'll now use to rotate the whole layers, the whole assets that are present in this composition. Remember, we are taking a cue from what the original person did, and we are trying to, just as mentioned earlier, we are trying to crack the code and get it right. So let's take a null layer, move it up. So it's at the very top of the layers. So to do that, we have to parent everything. Normally what I do is to press Ctrl A to select everything. Then once I close one of them, every other thing is closed. Once you still Ctrl A, select everything and go. So what I'm trying to do, I want to parent everything except these two baseball stripe. So I can only parent their parent alongside other layers, because their parent will drag them along. You can see I left it, then parent everything, every other thing to the null. So this is the time to remember. I told you I'm going to be hiding these stripes at the appropriate time. So never mind whatever they are doing now, but some part of them will not show. At the right time, we're going to hide them. So okay, this is how it plays. It goes, then it goes, yeah. So I'm trying to figure out at the appropriate time to be able to rotate it. What the null layer is gonna do, what the new layer is gonna do is to do a rotation keyframe. We have to put in a rotation keyframe around the null layer. That's basically what I'm gonna do right now. Having printed the other layers to the null layer. So I think at this point in time, that's where the rotation begins. If you had watched the beginning, it's around this time. At the fullness of time, the rotation will be like this. At the beginning, I'm gonna put it at full rotation by typing 1. It is full rotation. So, and this gives you a 360 rotation. So let me just what I did was to walk back. To explain it in simple themes. There's, yeah, while the end is there, is because this is when the full animation is complete, and this is the full state of the animation of this donut and its other properties. Well, what I'm trying to do is to let the rotation start much earlier, yeah, around here. So good, great. So let's give it a basic easing. I like to ease my keyframes without sounding like a broken record. I always give my keyframes ease. Sometimes customized easing, sometimes basic easing. So I want to hide this stripe at these stripes. We can use the donut as a mat. So sorry, the baseball. I want to use the baseball as a mat. Since it's the only round an ellipse, more like it's only round asset. So I have to duplicate it. Control D by pressing Control D. So this has been duplicated. I will take it up, duplicate it again for the other one. So let me name this mat. Always name your layers stripe mat. Then duplicate it, take it up. What we're going to do now is we have to do alpha mat. So okay, it's already attached to the null, so I'm alpha matting them so they can only show inside the baseball. Remember, we had mentioned we are going to hide it, and that's what we are doing right now. Okay, I think we're getting it right. This is okay. This is okay. Yeah, I think this is fine. This is fine now. Let's play it and see what happens. Oh, this is great. This is great. So we're getting there. I think we have been able to pull this through. Guys, I think we have been able to pull this through. In spite of some glitches, some hitches, it's always good to, continue to get your hands dirty. This is a chance for us to learn much more than necessary. It's kind of doing all of this kind of gives you an advantage, so that you know when how things if there are challenges, how things get rough and you get out of it. Sometimes some people use plugins. It's always good for you to do it, try it with your hands before you start using plugins. So what we're going to do next is to put that source, the sauce that come on the sausage. That's what I'm trying to use a pen tool to draw it right now. This is the last thing we'll do. I know you guys have been able to put in your time and to follow us through this. Let's just spare a minute to put in the source. So we're going to use the pen tool again. Draw a straight line, click, then hold shift and click the second time. So so let's increase the stroke, and this source has to be white because it is white. I don't know why it's white, but it's white on the original thing that we watched. Okay, now we're going to do a thing right now. Inside this shape layer, we'll crack open the content. Before we continue, let's name our layer. Normally, I don't like that to escape me, so let's call it source. This is a source on the hot dog. So I like my null that is controlling everything to be up. So we are going to parent it also to the null because every thing has been parented already to the null. I want this source to start somewhere here. No, I trimmed the wrong layer, so it's not going to be helpful until this fully settles. Yeah, this fully settles, so that's when it's going to be visible. Crack this open, go to shape layer, then to I think I need to add something called zigzag. Yes, that's zigzag. So let's work on the properties of the zigzag. It's already giving us that shape, but zigzag radius 11, size to about 25, then the points should be smooth. So this zag has if this zigzag or this source has a fill, want to remove it, let's remove the fill. Okay, so this is it. We have to add a trim part. Let's go back to the source. I think 10 it should be more like it. 10 ridges should be more like it, so they're even out. So let's go to the stroke and make the stroke. I want to round up the mouth, so we'll make it round cap, so it is smooth at the tips. That is it for this. No. We have to add a trim part. Let's click on the shape. Let's try it on the shape. Otherwise, we'll go back to content, trim part, the trim part. I don't like it to drop in the middle. No, I have to remove it. Let's go. Always click it. Always do it on the content. That is safer to do. It drops below. Why I had to do this is that anything that is above the trim part, it's what it trims. So it will trim the zigzag and all of its properties, and the shape as well. It will trim the shape, the zigzag, and every properties inside it. So let's bring down the end property. Let's animate it, bring it down at the beginning. The end should be 0. Let's raise it to 0. Then at the end within half a second, then we make it, putting it back to 100. Let's always ease, basic isn't well. So let's see how it plays. Let's go back to see the animation. Let's trim this whole composition up to 10 seconds So you click trim, come to work area. So, and yeah, let's see it happens within 10 seconds. That's it. Great. This is a fair trial, and I think it's really about devoting time to do, and we could perfect it under normal circumstance. This animation for a motion design, a good motion design person should take the person about 2 hours or more in trying to perfect it if it's a job from a client. So, but we just had to see, give us some clues and crack the code. So I had promised to change the color of this main wrap. That's what I'm trying to do now. So let's copy the color from the left wrap. That's what I just did now, and go to the main wrap to paste the color. Ctrl V. Okay, that does it. And this is what we finally have. Yes, this is what we finally have. Right. What I will do more a little bit. Sorry, I'm trying to. Some people say, I try to perfect things, but I shouldn't be doing all of this. But I want to take a position property to kind of position property and scale by pressing P, holding Shift, then S, so that two of them will appear at the same time. Press P, hold Shift, then press S. So take the position keyframe, scale keyframe. What I want to do is there's a little bit of movement while this thing is going on and the scaling. So so let's repeat that movement. The keyframe. So let's then return it to what it was by copying the keyframe of the beginning one by one. Oh, I didn't parent the source or something. Okay, I didn't parent it, so I have to now parent it. It's good we are seeing all of this so that we know when this happens and how to deal with issues arising. Okay, yeah, I know, because I had, because of this initial or this latest keyframe adjustments I made on the position and all of that. So, but what I want to do now, I want to reduce the size, the length or the height of the source. So let's go to the part, click on it, then okay, this is where the part stops. So I have to then trim it by selecting the lower part of it, then move it up to the end of the sausage. So let's see what happens. Right. Again, I want to position it at the middle of the sausage or hot dog. I don't know what it is, but that is it. So I think it is. This is perhaps damage controlling, or what you might want to call it, that makes sense. Is all these things occur. And thank you guys, we've come to the end of this animation, and I want to mention here that much credit goes to Evan Abrams. Evan Abrams is a great motion design pro. He is the person that first created this. Though I watched it in one of his feature in adobe stream, where he showed this animation, but in that stream he didn't quite present the steps by which he created this. So I, myself and my team thought about it, that it's good to show us in our channel, people on the internet, to be able to watch and know how to do. Once again, thank you. I will leave his link in the description, so you check him out. He's a great guy. I've watched him a number of times and I've learned some things from him. So comment, like, share, and subscribe to our channel, so you'll be getting notification each time we do something like this. We're gonna, can assure you, we're gonna be doing more. So if you have something that you find on the motion design community that you want us to help crack through, leave a comment and we'll do so. My team and myself will read it and will act accordingly. Thank you. See you in the next one. Bye for now.